Hello, welcome back to the channel. I've recorded this a few times now, and I'm getting really sick of talking about Batwoman as a byproduct of that. But basically, the show ratings have tanked. And why did I record it a few times? I hear you guys ask, because the audio was really weird and really patchy. So I'm fingers crossed that this is fine, because I don't really want to do this again. But anyway, Batwoman Season 2 premiere has completely dive-bombed on ratings. I believe they're even worse than... the ratings alone are worse than the season 1 finale, and the viewership is worse than the season 1 finale. Now, what does that indicate? Well, to me, quite a few things. One, that bizarrely there's fans of Ruby Rose. What you doing with your life? Don't be a fan of her. But secondly, also that maybe people are just sick of it. They're like, well, I watched Ruby Rose come to an end. I don't really want to watch it anymore. But interestingly enough, the viewership from season 1 premiere to season 2 premiere is staggering. They've lost nearly 1 million viewers. It's crazy. And yet, ladies and gents, they keep this show on the air. Why? And then you get the likes of the Swamp Thing cancelled. Why? What? Who's paying the bills? How are you paying the bills, CW? I don't understand. We don't get it in the UK, so I'm at a loss for how the CW gets funded, but good God, that's a bad business move, is it not? Are they living on woke points? Like, what's going on? So anyway, I'll leave this article link down below. Let's read along with me. The CW's Batwoman Season 2 premiere ratings are in, and they're actually worse than Batwoman Season 1. So TV series finale reports that the premiere episode for Batwoman Season 2, What Happened to Kate Kane, was only viewed by 663,000 individuals and had a 0.10 rating, right, in the 18 to 49 demographic. Now that's bad, okay, that's not good in any way, shape or form. If you compare the Season 2 premiere to the Season 1 premiere, viewership dropped nearly 65%. The Season 1 premiere had over 1.86 million people tune in. So 663,000 to 1.86 million. Unreal. Unreal. Now the rating itself actually dropped by 78%, falling from 0.47 to 10. That's crazy. That's bad, bruh. That's all kinds of bad. Like, that's seriously terrible. Oh my lord. That's not good. But then, I asked myself, well, why is that? I mean, obviously, look, the show's not good, right? But why would people tune off from Ruby Rose's incarnation to this one? Is it because they didn't have quite as many thought-provoking feminist propaganda trailers for this one? Because they didn't really. Did anyone know that it was on? I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to justify that this isn't an abject failure because everyone's locked at home. Everyone's trapped. So why wouldn't people be watching it? Well, because they've got something else better to watch, isn't it? So then they're not tuning in because it's garbage. That's why. And it is garbage. I've watched it, FYI. The Season 2 premiere had even lower viewership than the Season 1 finale, because the Season 1 finale closed out with 739,000. Now, that's not too much of a surprise. I guess people wanted to see, Ruby Rose disappear and sort of see the justification behind it, because they announced before that aired. But no, did they? I don't know if they announced before that aired. I don't think they did, actually. No. I'll hold my tongue, ladies and gents. But people still want to see stories come to a close if they followed it, even if they are going to tune out afterwards. Take the Marvel Universe, for instance. A lot of people are happy just to be done with it now because they watched Endgame. Despite them not even potentially liking it. That's just how it works. But anyway, the ratings for that was 0.21 in the 18 to 49 demographic. All the demographics are the same, FYI. It's across the board, so you can actually compare it. That means the show lost over 10% of their viewership from the end of Season 1 to the beginning of Season 2. The ratings declined by 52%. That's bad. That's all kinds of bad. That's so terrible. Now, interestingly here, right, while the Season 2 premiere was abysmal, it's still not the least viewed episode in the show's history. That award goes to Season 1 episode 17, where only 634,000 tuned in. However, the Season 2 premiere is the worst rated in the show of the 18 to 49 demographic. The previously worst rated in the show was season 1 episode 11, which had a 0.15 rating. So that's quite a big drop. You know, that's real bad. Now on the upside, season 2 does have a higher audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The show currently has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 24% for season 2 from 182 users. But that's the thing as well, is that there's not many people who have rated it yet. So in season 1, the show received an abysmal 13% audience score from 8,138 users. So more people coming in will probably lambast it, I'm sure. Can't imagine there's going to be many people liking it. Interestingly enough, critics, as they did in season 1, are attempting to drive people to watch The View. In season 1, the show received a certified fresh rating of 80% from 50 critics. And in season 2, the critic score is currently 86%, albeit from only 7 critics. So again, I would imagine that's going to drop. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I do want to touch on this a little bit because I found it really baffling. Because I do watch these to review for you guys. Now, it's not for my own benefit, I'll tell you that much. It's no surprise that the ratings are in the toilet. The show's showrunner, Caroline Dries, confirmed that the series would be about race politics. And that's the thing, right? This character, Dries says here that while Ryan never used drugs, she was in a relationship where somebody was using drugs, and it's ultimately what got Ryan put away in jail. But she's, in the show, episode 1, she's said to be a drug runner. And not only that, she's a thief. She stole the Batsuit. She stole it. She found it. She stole it. She refused to give it back. Now, if you're doing... I'm all for representation, right? Whatever. Fill your boots. Couldn't care less. But surely, if you're black and watching this, surely you want your representation to not be a drug runner and a thief. No? It'd be like me watching a bunch of white men. I don't want to see... You know, I don't want my representation to be... I don't know, a bunch of pedos or something like that. Like, it's just silly little things like that. You'd be like, oh, well, that's a bit lame, isn't it? Like, what are you doing? You know, using this character as a vehicle to discuss these quite touchy subjects. But they're of not good moral standing. It's just weird. It's super, super weird. Like, if anyone thought that was a good idea, beyond me. Now, she also said, so it's the idea that Ryan is this innocent woman, and if she were white, per se, she might not have had the same punishment that she as an innocent black woman had to go through. But she's not innocent, she is a thief. And this is the same thing that they did with Season 1. This is what indicates that the writing is just terrible. Season 1 literally had a terrorist get led off because Ruby Rose's Kate Kane learned that she was a lesbian. I mean, that's just nonsense, isn't it? That's madness. Terrible writing. And it's the same with this one here, this Ryan Wilder character. She's a thief. What are you doing? No, and it says that that's a huge piece of her backstory, so that's something we're exploring this year. So her being an innocent black woman. And setting the stage, obviously, now for a future season where they're saying, well, we're gonna talk about other things. It's like, no, it's garbage. So mark my words, this is only going to get worse. The show's only going to get worse. It never improves. Yeah, it's not a good show. And this is coming from someone that has watched it. Like, I think it's terrible. I only watch it for you guys, and it really is garbage. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please do let me know down below. What do you think? Like, what causes the big drop-off? Because to me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, I guess maybe just a lot of Ruby Rose fans. You know, that would make sense as to why they tuned out. You know, a lot of people dropped off from the first season, or the season premiere, because they had hope, and then they realised it was garbage, so they tuned off. But then you're left with fans, aren't you? And they probably tuned out after the story came to its conclusion, I guess. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do let me know down below in the comment section. Also, just whilst I've got you here, I am now doing a live stream series where I live stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM GMT. And that is actually 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. Now, notifications are very, very rare. So I have to keep reminding you guys I am doing this thing. It's really interesting. Like, we have guests that come on. Last guest was Lauren Chen. It was interesting because we had, you know, opposite views on certain things. A good discussion. It's basically just a conversation with certain topics here and there, but a good opportunity for you guys to ask some questions. And in future, I've already got some confirmation for some producers to come on, as well as some directors. So there will be the scope for bigger and better people popping on the channel. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comment section. Please do join later for the roundtable live. Again, it's 9 PM GMT, 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much. Hope this has recorded the audio fine. Take care.